Spider's web. In this video we're going to be carrying on with our Water Cultists, and what we're going to do first is highlight the skin. As it's a nice bluish tone, we're going to go with incredibly pale blue, so we're going to go with Lothern blue, and we're going to mix that with Screaming Skull, and we're going to do a dry brush. So while we're mixing, I'm going to use it on a I'm going to mix it on an old DVD, an old CD, DVD, whatever it may be, CD in this case. So we'll pop some of the paint on the palette, hoping you can see it properly, and then we'll pop some of the, that's the Lothern blue, now I'll pop some of the Screaming Skull onto the palette, and we'll just add some of that into the Lothern blue to make it just a little bit paler. There we go. So we don't want it too strong, you see. And as I said, this is going to be a dry brush, so we're not going to be using this brush, obviously. I need to get all the water off that, so we're going to be using our usual dry brush. So we'll get the paint on the brush, as much off as we can, and then in a downward motion we will just dry brush straight down, and there's not much of a difference in colour, I've noticed with this. I thought there would be a bit more of a difference, but there doesn't seem to be. Oh yeah, I may add a little bit more of the Screaming Skull into this, just to make it much more paler, or much more pale rather. And that is better. So we don't want the flesh tone of this character, or these characters, to be incredibly strong. We're looking for them to be quite pale, but on the blue side of pale. There we go, there's one done. And now another. So it's one of the simplest ways of doing highlights, but it's not necessarily one of the most satisfactory way of getting the effect that you're looking for. I'm going, as I said, straight down on all of the skin areas, and this is the final one. We will be going over with a different colour in a moment. that's to pick out certain areas. So that is the skin. That's the skin area is done. I've just noticed now that they're actually wearing gloves, which I didn't notice beforehand. So it just means another little painting stage, but that's not vitally well, I'm saying vitally, it's not incredibly annoying. Right, so what I want to do now is using one of our fine brushes and going back to the Lothern blue, I'm going to put a little bit of that on our palette, not a great deal, because you can see I'm not putting a lot on, because that's going to be mixed with pallid witch flesh. I want quite a bit of that on. I want to make a very pale blue. And I'm using this instead of white because it's more of a grey colour. And I'm just giving it a damn good shake because it needs it. And I'm just going to mix the two colours directly. And a lot, and I mean a lot more, of the pallid witch flesh to the Lothern blue. Okay, so that's that mixed, and now we can go into using one of our fine brushes, and for this we're going to be using our 2-0 brush. A little bit of water on the brush, and shake it off to make the bristles just damp, and then we're just going to go along and pick out some of the highlights, or some of the details to highlight rather. And like anything that is raised and pointing to the light, anything that the light is easily going to hit, this is what we're going to be touching onto with this colour. There we go. And don't worry, it's not perfect. Because they're only gaming pieces, they're not quality that you would actually make a point of using as a, what's the word I'm looking for? I wouldn't use this for display purposes. That's why I've not been bothered about the flashing and mould lines and stuff like that. Well, the flashing I've not seen any, but the mould lines definitely haven't been touched because there's not really much point in doing so. They're not intended to be, let's say, models for close inspection. They're intended to be used as gaming pieces. So you can only see them from quite a way off on the table. It's basically a case of pick your battles. If you've got some really good quality models, they are the ones that you really need to make an effort with. It seems I've got a bit of D-cups. These, unfortunately, as I've said before on different ones, they're not incredible, they're not the best models. No, yeah, they're just basically being painted to make the game look nice, and I've painted the others in the series of games, so I might as well paint these as well, even though I don't think they're a patch on the other miniatures. Okay, so that's that bit done. Next, what I want to do is the hair, and I'm going with black for the hair. It's our usual Abaddon black. We'll just pop a little bit onto the palette. We're not using much paint for this today because there's not really much we can do with them. This brush, as you can see, has blade. This is why I don't use it very often. Why I don't use it at all for painting much, unless it's big areas. And base coats. This is the brush that I use primarily for just adding paint to the palette. I can't use that. So it's just a very small bit of black on the palette. And we'll be going round and a little bit of a highlight on this later on. There we go. And finally, as you can see, I don't know whether I'm hoping you can see this, but there isn't much detail to separate the hair from the skin. So we're basically trying to just pick it out as best we can. There we go. I'll put a bit more over that one. That should do it. Next, using the pallid witch flesh. Really should have just put some on the palette instead of just mixing it in. This colour, remember that. We're going to go over the trousers. I know you can't see this terribly well on camera. I'm just trying to pick out the creases more than anything else. It's not the trousers, it's this sash thing that he's wearing. I'll go with the belt as well. As you can see, I'm using the side of the brush and just sliding it down the model, and then it will pick up where it needs to be. Just add a touch more onto the brush, and then we'll add onto the palette, and not palette, onto the belt, and just do a couple more lines down to strengthen it, strengthen the colour. Just like so. Now we'll do that with all three of them. It's not difficult to paint minis, as long as you've got the time to practice, you can do it. Again, we'll just go straight down at the edge of the brush. It will hide all the areas that I've gone over with the blue and was highlighting the skin. There you go. And that is about it for this part of the mini. It's just a case of making sure that we've got rid of all the blue areas on this. There we go. That's that. Next, we're going to use a little bit of the white scar, which is our colour, white, surprisingly. I'm going to add that onto our palette again. Again, I'll see if I can zoom in. I'm hoping you can see the colours that we've used. But now, as I say, we're using the white scar, and that is going to be for the trousers. So I guess we're just going to pick out some of the some of the creases. Just like so. And again, any area that you think may be hitting or being hit by the light. You can go over this once again with an oil wash if you think it doesn't look quite right. But it's good enough for what I'm doing. There we go, let's try again. A little bit more water has got onto the paint. There must have been a droplet in on the pan that I hadn't noticed. There we are. And as I say, it doesn't have to be perfect for these miniatures as long as it looks nice. There we go. I'm going to leave the boots as they are because I like them. What I want to do now, however, is I don't know why I've just rinsed out my brush because I need to go into it for do the third fella. But what I'm also going to do is go over the handle of the sword and go back over with that purple wash that we gave it, because I've still got too much of the blue that we use for the skin tone on them, I've noticed. So we're just going to do that, so we'll do that on each one. And then what we'll do as well is we'll go over once again the shield with the Agrax Earthshade and the whatchamacallit, the Agrax Earthshade and the Carroburg Crimson that we used. I'm also going to just give the hair a little bit of a dry brush with the Pallid Witch Flesh and mix in some of that, a little bit of the blue so it's not what's the word I'm looking for, so it's not completely white or grey. And because this bristles, or the bristles on this brush are splayed out so much, it does give an interesting effect on the hair. I'm just going to go over these scale effects on the flush as well with this to make them stand out a little more. Let's go over on the upper areas again. There we go. And next we'll get out our washes and we'll go over with, as I say, the Agrax Earthshade and the Carroburg Crimson. So we want the Agrax Earthshade, which is that one, and the Carroburg Crimson, which is here. We'll give this another wash, and then we'll give it a wash with give the handle of the sword another wash with the what's the word I'm looking for? With the Gucci Violet. There's the Agrax Earthshade on. And now, just a little spot of that was the Agrax Earthshade we've just placed on. I'm going to put a little bit of the Carrollburg Crimson, making sure that the lid is on this time. And it's just a little spot. I'd say a little spot, and just pop it on like that. And that's what we're doing there. And then, as I say, for the handle of the sword, we're looking at Gucci Violet. All I have to do is find it, which is that colour, a nice purple colour. I'm not going to do or make much of a fuss of it on the I don't know what the hand guard is. I don't know what that bit's called. I'm not making much of a fuss of it on that one, but down here I want to make sure that it is the colour I want it to be. And I'll just take off a little bit of that brown, and there we have it for the Water Cultists. That's all we're doing. There's not much to do with these. I hope you've enjoyed these videos. Join us again next time. We'll be starting some more miniatures. All we have to do is wait for these to dry, give them a good spraying, and do the base on them, and then they are finished. But that, as I say, is it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, as always, take care, God bless, and bye for now.